Hi everyone, I'm going to play around today with some transfers from my graphics. Now, this big yellow butterfly here, you'll notice that I printed it out, and I'm just going to lightly just draw so I know I'll have that. So I'm just doing a big flower in the front, and my big butterfly that'll be on top of that. I'm going to have these butterflies up in the background, and hopefully when they'll be done, they're going to look distant and, you know, far away. So I'm going to take one of my water brushes and just putting down some juicy water here. And then I'm going to take my graphic that I cut out, and I just cut around it. And I'm just going to press that in there. And you can't move these until it has dried, so I'm going to just press those down, and then I'm going to end up walk away. So here we go, putting water down. I don't know if you ever did this as a kid, but if you ever played with the tattoos that you did on your skin, this is kind of the same principle, where you wet your skin and you lay the tattoos on it and the ink transfers to your skin. We're doing the same thing, but with paper and using inkjet images. So, water. Get it nice and soaked. And then you press down. And when I was a kid, we had to hold these down on our skin, press them down for like 30 seconds. Of course, now this was ink that was made for the tattoo, so I don't know if you have to hold them down or not. I'm just pressing for, oh, okay. Well, that one came up by accident, but nice image already. That's nice. It'll look like it's in the background. I'm going to pull the other ones up and see what they look like. Okay. Ah, there we go. No, that's not too bad. I don't know where that came from, but that'll go in the background anyway. Huh. I don't know where that came from. But, there we go. Alright, so now, let's continue playing. I'm going to take some blue ink, and I'm going to really dilute it so it's thin. And I'm just going to kind of go back in here, and I'm going to do a wash. I don't want to get too close to the butterflies because I think they're still wet at the moment, and I don't want them to soak up my color. But I'm just creating my sky background. Sky with a pink dot background. Okay, now I want to put some other flowers. So I'm going to go back in with a yellow. Of course, I'm going to do this one first here. So this is my daisy in the front. Okay, now I'll come in with some, whoops, let's do more yellow. So I'm going to do some blobs of yellow, and then I'll come back in with my pen and kind of define them back in as flowers. Hopefully this will kind of make them look also in the distance. Okay, now I'll come in with some green and just go around that, trying not to touch too much of my yellow that I put down so it won't bleed too much. And you'll notice I'm working quickly. I'm not trying to be too perfect. I'm trying to give it a loose feel, because that's what I'm going for. I'm into watercolors right now, so I'm making kind of a watercolor effect by going quickly, not worrying if I have white space around your image or if my color variations are stronger or darker. Just plain. At some point I'm going to have to let things dry so I can get in with my ink pen. And then I'm going to take and just flick up to the top and see if we can kind of create a feeling of some grass maybe. Probably too wet. So I'm going to take my towel here and just blot that. Okay. Alright, so kind of got my field going here. Put some grass up here in the front. Maybe a stem coming down from my flower. If anything runs too much, just dab it off. And I'm just flicking my brush. That's all I'm doing. And I like the fact that things go over each other and run into each other. That's what gives it that dimension. Alright, so now I'm just going to let this really dry. I'm going to put my orange in first. Then I'm going to let it really dry. And then I'll be back. Now that this is nice and dry, I can come back in with my pens. I'm using the Pigma Sensei, and I'm going to start with the 3, I think, which is the smallest one. And I'm going to just start by going around and just sketching very loosely around my butterflies. Kind of bring them out a little bit. And you can go in as much detail as you want or not. It doesn't really matter. Drawing their little antenna in. And you don't have to be exact. This is, your journal for fun. Unless you plan on your journaling to be award-winning. which some people I know like to do that. Okay, so I've got those in. That was with my 3. Now, since this is in the foreground, I'm going to come back with my 6 and outline it. And keeping in with everything else, I'm just doing nice and loose lines, going back over them so they're sketchy looking. It's something I like to do. Now, where I have this grass in front, I don't want to draw my line over, so I'm going to stop with the grass and make sure that my flower looks like it's going behind that blade of grass. Just for a little extra dimension. And nice loose circle here. And then my stem. There we go. And that's basically it. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to glue my butterfly on the front. So it looks like it's flying to this nice big flower right up here in front. And I'm going to use my 450 quick dry adhesive. And I have to clear off the glue off the top of the cap. And that's because I've been lazy and I let my glue bubble up. And hold on 1 second while I let my glue go down, because I use this so often. It's almost empty bottle, so I'm just letting my glue run down to the tip. And just squeeze that out. Like so. And you can see how I cut off the end of my butterfly just a little bit there. That's so he can come off the page. And I think I'm going to put him right there, so I can see my sunflower real good. I like that. So, nice easy page. You get to play with some techniques. I haven't figured out what I'm going to write on this yet. But anyway, lots of fun. Very easy. Try the water technique with your graphics. See how you like that. I'm just giving my page a little border here. And play along with us. Oop, ran off the page there. So anyway, play along with us. Have fun. Try the water technique with your graphics. See how it works out for you. Remember, it's not going to give you a real bright transfer, but it gives you something that looks kind of faded, maybe kind of antique or distressed looking, depending on what you like to work with. And just have fun and show us what you do over on the Frosted Design page. If you do the transfer technique, then you can enter in this week's drawing, which is the last week for the drawing for the graphics. So, hope you get to play along with us. Have a great week. Talk to you later. See you next Sunday. Bye.